There's something strange about silence. Most people can't stand it for more than a few seconds. The moment it gets quiet, they reach for their phone, turn on music, or start talking just to fill the space. But silence isn't empty. It's full of the things we spend our lives trying to ignore. Thoughts, emotions, truths we've buried under noise. And if you sit with it long enough, it starts to speak. You start hearing what your mind has been trying to tell you. You start noticing what really matters and what doesn't. Silence is uncomfortable for the insecure, but it's a weapon for the disciplined. The loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest. They're just the most desperate to be heard. The calm one, the quiet one. That's the person who makes everyone else lean in. Because when you say nothing, people start revealing everything. Today, we'll take a deep dive into the art of silence, a forgotten language that once defined warriors, philosophers, and kings. We'll explore how silence builds power, how restraint earns respect, and how learning not to speak can make your words 10 times more impactful when you finally do. This isn't about staying quiet forever. It's about learning when to speak and when to let silence do the talking. So before we begin, take a breath. Let go of the noise for just a few moments and step into a space most people will never understand. And hey, if you enjoy exploring the mindset of control, calm, and confidence, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and share this video with someone who talks a little too much. They might need it. Now, let's begin. In a world that worships noise, silence has become a forgotten language. Everyone wants to be heard. Few want to understand. People argue not to seek truth, but to be seen as right. They shout, interrupt, and speak over one another, never realizing that the quiet one always holds the advantage. Silence is power. It is patience. It is presence. It is the unseen weapon that can win every argument without a single word. When you master silence, you master emotion. When you master emotion, you master people. And when you master people, you never need to argue again. Those who understand silence do not fight for attention. They command it. They do not seek validation. They radiate confidence. They do not defend themselves. They make others reconsider their attack. The first principle, do not react. Observe. Most people lose because they react too quickly. They rush to defend. They rush to explain. They rush to assert their position. But when you slow down, when you remain silent, you shift the energy of the conversation. The loud person expects a fight. They expect conflict. They expect you to match their volume, their emotion. But when you do not, their rhythm breaks. Their composure falters. Their ego begins to crumble. Silence forces reflection. It forces them to hear themselves. It forces them to confront the cracks in their logic. You do not win by speaking first. You win by letting the other person reveal their weaknesses. The second principle. Let silence do the talking. Every pause, every quiet moment plants a seed of discomfort. People fear silence. They rush to fill it. They stumble. They over-explain. They justify. You, however, do not speak. You do not justify. You do not fight. And slowly, imperceptibly, they lose. Because silence demands presence. Presence is authority. Presence commands attention without the need for words. It is why the quiet negotiator often secures the deal. It is why the silent observer often holds the most influence. Let them reveal their motives. Let their words betray their intentions. You will never have to speak to win. The third principle, control the pace. Arguments are like storms. They feed on speed. The faster it moves, the less thinking occurs. The faster people speak, the less clarity they have. Slow the pace. Introduce the stillness and allow the storm to exhaust itself. Every pause you take is a reset. Every moment of silence is a declaration. I will not be swept into your chaos. In these pauses, you gain clarity. You see what others miss. You notice the trembling of the voice, the hesitation in their posture, the uncertainty in their words. Silence transforms you into a mirror. It reflects their truth back at them, and most cannot endure their reflection. The fourth principle: do not defend your peace, protect it. When you argue to prove yourself, you have already lost. Your peace becomes contingent on their approval. Your composure becomes hostage to their judgment. Do not justify yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. Do not explain yourself to those determined to twist your words. Silence is your shield. It preserves your energy. It preserves your dignity. Let them assume. Let them speculate. Let them talk. The strongest do not argue endlessly. They walk away, unshaken, undefeated. They understand that the truth does not need defending, only time to reveal itself. The fifth principle: turn silence into presence. Silence without awareness is emptiness. Silence with focus becomes presence. It is a deep observation, a careful watching, a patient study of human behavior. When you are fully present, you do not react. You do not interrupt. You do not speak until the moment demands it. You feel the energy behind words. You read the intent behind gestures. You understand motives, fears, and desires, often before they are spoken aloud. And in this awareness, you gain true power. Silence is not simply about withholding words. It is about cultivating mastery over yourself. Every pause strengthens your disciplines. Every controlled breath reinforces your authority. Every refusal to be drawn into chaos builds your empire of composure. Those who cannot endure silence will always be ruled by it. Those who embrace it will always command it. Let us explore the depths of silence further. Consider the warrior before battle. He does not shout. He does not display panic. He waits. He observes. He listens. The enemy moves. The enemy speaks. The enemy loses composure. The silent warrior holds the advantage simply because he has mastered stillness. In arguments, in debates, in human conflict, the same principle holds. Those who remain still, unshaken, unreactive, and aware are invincible. Silence is also the teacher of patience. Most people seek immediate resolution. They demand answers. They chase reactions. They act without thought, driven by ego and impulse. The wise understand that time is the greatest ally. Let others exhaust themselves. Let their anger burn out. Let their words expose their flaws. In silence, you gain the advantage of observation, reflection, and clarity. Every word you choose not to speak carries weight. The one who speaks constantly is forgotten. The one who speaks rarely, strategically, is remembered. Words are not weapons by themselves. They are amplified by silence. A single carefully chosen word can change the course of a conversation, a negotiation, or a confrontation, but only if it is preceded by measured stillness. Energy transfers through emotion. If someone shouts and you shout back, you have joined their storm. But if you remain silent, calm, composed, and still, you shift the energy. Their aggression is neutralized. Their chaos is exposed. Their arrogance is humbled. People expect conflict. They anticipate a fight. But silence disarms them. It leaves them uncertain, off balance, and vulnerable. Observation is the sixth hidden principle. When you do not react, you see. When you see, you understand. When you understand, you gain mastery. You begin to notice patterns, the triggers that spark anger, the weaknesses that invite deception, the insecurities that drive aggression. Once you recognize these patterns, you no longer need to argue. You can guide, redirect, or simply remain unaffected. Silence has given you a map of human behavior. The seventh principle. Silence teaches self-mastery. Every reaction forfeits control. Every emotional outburst surrenders authority. The man who can remain silent under provocation is stronger than the one who shouts, no matter how persuasive he seems. Mastery begins within. Control your responses, control your breath, control your mind. Only then can you influence others. Consider history. The greatest generals, philosophers, and rulers were all masters of silence. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wrote in stillness and reflection, not in outcry. Sun Tzu, the master strategist, valued patience and observation above all else. The quiet man often holds the sharpest sword. The silent observer often wields the greatest power. Silence is also a mirror. It reflects the truth back to those who speak too hastily. It reveals insecurities. It exposes lies. It unmasks arrogance. When someone tries to provoke you, their own words betray them. Their arguments crumble without your intervention. You do not need to speak. You only need to remain. The eighth principle. Silence cultivates presence. Presence is invisible authority. It is felt, not heard. When you enter a room, your calmness speaks louder than words. When you observe, your awareness commands respect. When you remain patient, your restraint creates influence. Presence without noise is a force no one can resist. Silence also strengthens clarity. In the midst of heated argument, clarity is rare. Most people are clouded by ego, fear, and impulsive thought, but the silent man sees clearly. He sees intentions. He sees consequences. He sees opportunity. With clarity comes power. With power comes freedom. With freedom comes peace. Silence is a long game. It is not quick. It is not immediate. It is cultivated through years of discipline, reflection, and restraint. The one who learns to endure silence, to embrace stillness, and to wield it strategically becomes untouchable. The ninth principle. Silence disarms confrontation. A loud argument is energy. Noise is power in the mind of the impulsive. But when met with calm, composed silence, the energy dissipates. People stumble. They self-correct. They lose momentum. Silence is not weakness. It is dominance through restraint. The 10th principle. Silence is preparation. Every pause is preparation for understanding. Every measured moment is an opportunity to observe, to calculate, to strategize. When you do not rush to speak, you give yourself time to see the entire battlefield. Not just the words in front of you, but the intentions, the emotions, and the subtle movements behind them. Silence allows you to anticipate. It allows you to map the thoughts of others before they fully form them. It allows you to detect hesitation, weakness, or even hidden strength. Every conversation, every argument, every conflict is like a chessboard. Each word is a move. Every silence, every pause is your thinking, your preparation, your advantage. The one who speaks immediately often acts blindly, reacting without insight. The one who waits, observes, and then speaks. Speaks with purpose. Speaks with inevitability. Speaks with authority. Silence is the forge in which your thoughts are sharpened. It is the calm before the strike. It is the moment where clarity is born, strategy is conceived, and power is readied. Do not mistake it for hesitation. Do not mistake it for weakness. And this is not uncertainty. This is mastery. Through silence, you prepare yourself to respond with precision, not panic. You prepare to choose words that carry weight rather than noise. You prepare to act decisively when the moment demands it. The greatest leaders, generals, and philosophers in history mastered this. Sun Tzu wrote, "He who knows when he can fight and when he cannot will be victorious." That knowledge comes from observation, patience, and the silent preparation of the mind. Marcus Aurelius meditated in silence, not to avoid action, but to prepare for it, to ensure every thought, every decision, every word was deliberate. Silence is your training ground. It is where instinct meets insight. It is where thought becomes strategy. The one who speaks without this preparation risks chaos. The one who uses silence as preparation commands inevitability. And in life, inevitability is power. Every argument you face, every conflict you encounter, every moment of confrontation, if you meet it with silent preparation, you will act not with reaction, but with mastery. You will not be swayed by anger. You will not be provoked by ego. You will not be trapped by impulse. Instead, you will move with precision. You will strike with clarity. You will speak with authority. Silence, cultivated as preparation, turns every moment of stillness into a weapon. Every pause becomes an opportunity. Every breath becomes a tool. Every observation becomes leverage. Do not underestimate the power of preparation. Do not underestimate the power of silence. For the one who prepares silently wins every argument before a word is even spoken. In a world that grows louder by the day, silence remains your greatest advantage. Let others speak in haste. Let others react without thought. You will stay still. You will remain composed. And through that silence, you will see what others cannot. If you found strength in this message and wish to continue walking the path of discipline, reflection, and power, then make sure to subscribe for more lessons like this one. Because the journey to mastery isn't built through noise. It's built through presence, through patience, through silence. Until next time, stay grounded, stay disciplined, stay silent.